And the next one is Christian,
Christian,
our Norwegian colleague, responsible for the Middle East and North America, what we call EM International.
Thank you, Thomas. So, Christian Rugland. I'm, in addition to international, I'm also part of the group executive management team. So, I'm going to talk about the international segment, which is North America and the Middle East. And both regions have a huge market potential within oil and gas, petrochemical, energy, and also public infrastructure. And within those areas, we have a highly achievable growth plan with significant upside potential. We expect the addressable market growth is around 3%, which is higher than Europe. That is because of strong fundamentals and high GDP within the countries we operate due to their oil revenues. The self-propelled growth will be driven by increased customer demand. It will be transition of services into existing and adjacent markets, as well as bundling and integration of services. So, why only 3%? Well, we in the international segment is still in a transition phase where restructuring is going. We have, as you can see, over the last few years been burdened by losses within certain part of the segment in the construction industry. We are in the completion stage of the construction projects, and we hope that 2023 we should be done with them, and thereafter we do not have any more construction projects of that nature in our order book. The profitability target of 5 to 6% is realistic. Efficiency program will reduce overhead cost and upskill our people. The improvement on operations excellence are due to excellent and efficient execution of work, as well as low-cost operations enabled by digitalization. Most important is the positioning and having profitable growth. Not always easy, but we've done it before. And if you look back to 2022, for the Middle East region alone, the region managed to increase its sales by 35%, while also improving on margins and profit. And how did we do that? That was by accessing the right clients on the right markets on the right terms. So market conditions and drivers in the international segments also differ slightly from Europe. Inflation come in a wider expectancy range and will be dominating over the years to come. It's a fair bit of overregulation where countries protect themselves with strict nationalization and localization programs, which are aimed at stimulating domestic growth at cost to international companies. Also, in particular, the Middle East region is home for some of the most long-running political conflicts globally, and some of them still exist. Volatility, well, we see that business conditions continually change, thereby increasing the risk for unexpected performance by companies. Now, with climate change also comes vast opportunities within energy transition. And to achieve the net zero 2050 targets, more than €1 trillion of investments are required between now and 2030 when for the target to become climate neutral. And several programs have already been initiated, and both in the United States and in the lead GCC countries. And within this market, Bilfinger is uniquely positioned to take advantage of projects and programs within energy transition and sustainability. So I'll tell you a bit about what we do between North America and the Middle East. So overall in North America, Bilfinger companies have been more than 100 years and about 50 years in the Middle East. We serve about 200 customers in 10 countries and have more than 6,000 employees. Within consultancy, we help clients with feasibility studies, plant efficiency, HSEQ, and sustainability improvement. And there's a search on sustainability. One interesting example of some work we do is together with the government in Abu Dhabi to develop a sustainability hub to educate and inspire its population to go green. We're a recognized provider of specialized engineering from concept, detail engineering and design, management consultancy, and project handover. Most customers are within oil and gas, working for the national oil companies. However, we do also a fair bit of work for within public infrastructure, where we do management consultancy and engineering on roads, bridges, ports, and airports, as well as for foreign direct investors. And we've been involved in Coca-Cola, DHL, Unilever's plants across the Middle East. New build and modifications, that's where the construction projects are. And you will see those coming down on the next years. So the 40% share should reduce significantly. We will continue to do some within modifications on existing plants where we're currently on, and where there is a maintenance program attached to it. But that is part of our strategy to de-risk the region. Maintenance and turnaround. We have a leading position on maintenance and turnaround, both in North America and in the Middle East. And we deliver a whole range of services from typically that could be electrical, mechanical, inspection, it could be instrumentation and control, rotating equipment, welding, fitting, all those services that are needed to ensure a high plant efficiency on the places we are. We believe also within maintenance and turnarounds, there's a high potential for growth in the coming years. Now, this value chain offers some quite compelling opportunities to cross-sale between consultancy, engineering, projects, and maintenance and turnaround. And let's look at how this is going to look like in the planning period. We will do more consultancy, and in particularly within sustainability, where we target solar. We help customers with defining their ESG strategies, but also projects like decarbonization to help customers to deliver on their 2030 targets. On engineering, we will continue to strengthen our core markets while also ensuring a diversified footprint in adjacent markets. The demand for capacity upgrade within oil and gas, petrochem, and energy continue, and there will also be a higher increase on energy transition opportunities. New builds, I said that we will bid selectively on fewer opportunities, but with a higher margin and a higher return. And they will be in relation to some of the other integrated contracts which we work on. On maintenance and turnaround, we will leverage on our number one position in existing and core markets. We see that the transition of maintenance services into other markets has quite low barriers. For instance, on a plant where we do maintenance, for instance, the electrical or mechanical rotating equipment, the pumps on that plant is the same on an oil plant as on a refinery as a petrochemical plant. So for us, that transition is enabled by having the right skills in the planning phase with estimation and proposal. We need experienced project managers, but then when deploying the labor, that is experienced technician, which we have wide access to, will do the same maintenance work on the different type of plants. So how are we going to do this? Well, on our strategic levers, so the characteristics of the international segment is that we will continue strengthening offshore technology centers and shared service center, thereby securing rapid scale-up with a higher quality at lower cost. People. We have so many good people in this organization, and many of them are also in demand by other companies. So our retention strategy is built on employee engagement, on development, on recognition, on having flexible solutions around workplace and schedules, as well as having a clear plan for inclusion, diversity, and social responsibility. And social responsibility is so important, and people in our organization expect that senior leaders like me and them and us behind here all represent the company as good ambassadors, taking the initiative on social responsibility and ESG. Also, another key one is technical skills and multi-skilling. For instance, an electrician who also trained to do instrumentation and control will earn more, and it will also ensure higher workforce flexibility for us. And programs for that are ongoing. Standardization and bundling. We're a solutions partner with one of the biggest consumer goods companies in the US, and through lean and continuous improvement, we save them for millions every year. Also, on bundling, engineering is required also within maintenance in order to ensure efficiencies on the plant and to unlock value. I mentioned about de-risking. We have we do less of the construction projects, and there are multiple reasons for why they went wrong, and I'm not going into that here. The key thing is that as part of our restructuring, and we are now discontinuing those large projects, and we do not have any more in the portfolio. Market expansion. I mentioned about moving into other segments in the same countries, and typically within energy, as being number one in countries like Saudi and in Kuwait, we can use and apply the same principles to do maintenance also within petrochemical and within oil and gas, where we do no work now. But these countries and North America have a huge upside potential within maintenance. On geographical expansion, we will selectively review moving into new countries when synergies are clear, and we can leverage on the capacity that we got in the other countries. Typically, we look at Canada, and in the Middle East, we've been to Oman before, and those who have followed us for some time also know that we exited Oman in 2020 on engineering services. But there's a huge potential for some of our key accounts in the group to go back with them in Oman. And Oman is a neighbor country, and it's in the back garden of where we already are. Excuse me. Sustainability partner. I'll show you an example right away about how we work on sustainability. So about 40% of energy-related emissions are due to combustion of fossil fuel for electricity generation. This is an ongoing project in Kuwait on the power plant, which is 40 years old and where maintenance was way overdue. And we've been as being number one there, and we've done many of these chimney upgrades. The customer involved us there to work on the whole process, from water intake into the boilers and all the umbilicals and the pipes, so on, to the chimney and for the emission. And by doing that service on all the umbilicals and pipelines, and also replacing the inner pipes of the chimney, and you see there are the elbows here with the 4 inner steel pipes. The chimney is 200 meters tall. Also installing a emission control system for the operator to take action when that sort of goes out of the normal. We helped them reduce 76% NOx and SOx emission. The project is ongoing. It will complete in March, and so far it's been conducted on budget, on time, and without any incidents or accidents. The second and last example I'm going to show is with US biggest manufacturer of consumer goods. This is a contract where we deliver a whole range of services from all blue-collar trades and also to management consultancy. And the part this relates is with the management consultancy. It started off as a constructability program where we reviewed engineerings and drawings which were made by themselves. We found so many inefficiencies in the processes and the production lines, eliminated waste and sharpened it up, that we were taken in as a strategic partner with the customer, and now working integrated with them on all engineering and all scheduling and all budgeting. And there is a strong effort on working on sort of the behavioral and the culture of continuous improvement. And as part of that, we also set up this amplified value program, which is to which there is also an element of digitalization. And on every site, there's a screen looking like this. And in the mornings, when the crew and the team gathers, they'll normally do that in front of that screen. So they will have their morning coffee and sort of have the planning talks in front of that, where they also will have access to all best practice across all sides of that customer. Now, over about 1,100 customer-approved initiatives, we had some more, but they approved 1,100. We helped them save $60 million last year. 60 million. That's quite good. And we will strive to achieve that position as that solution partner, also with other companies. Now, to sum up, we're still not fully restructured. You need to give us a little bit more time, and we will complete the construction projects in the US. However, it's not a fundamental problem of construction projects. We have some very tangible, low number of projects which will complete this year.